Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to ManicManiac Recaps and Predictions, back with the NFL predictions for week number 5. We are already a quarter through the season, and we already have a good idea of who the really good teams are, and who the really bad teams are, and who is a little bit of a toss-up. It'll be amazing to me if any of the undefeated teams don't end up going to the playoffs at this point. I mean, even the Patriots, even though they're 3-0 and could lose to the Cowboys, could being the operative word, I still see them going to the playoffs. I mean, come on, it's the fucking Patriots. Anyways, we got so many games to cover. When I say so many, I mean not really 16. We got a bunch of people on bye this week. But first, before we get to any of that, let's look back at week 4 and see how well I did. I am going to give it to the Ravens because this is a must-win for them. I'm going to say the Jets win this one. I'm going to give it to the Colts. The Bills are going to win that one. I have to give it to the Panthers right now. I'm going to give it to the Eagles. The Raiders are going to win that game easy. The Falcons are going to win this game. I'm going to give it to the Bengals. I'll go over the Chargers. Packers win. I say the Cardinals win that one. I'm going to say the Vikings are going to win. I'm actually going to pick the Saints. The Seahawks are going to win this battle. Alright, so we are at a 37-26 record thus far, which means that this past week I was 10-5. So I got 2/3 of the games right. So not too bad. I still kind of want to get in like a 20 up range. I want to be able to be like 46-26 or something like that. Obviously that ain't gonna happen. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that I can like separate the winning from the losing and really stray away and go big on the wins. Make sure I get that right, you know? Alright. So anyways, before we even get to the predictions now, we have to do now our weekly segment for at least until week 12 or so. Take a break, even if you haven't earned it. And by the way, what I mean if you haven't earned it, meaning that you played so poorly that you really should just keep playing so that way you keep winning. But of course, everyone needs a break in the NFL every once in a while. So this week, you got the 4-0 Panthers, the 3-1 Jets, the 2-2 Vikings, and the 1-3 Dolphins. So the Panthers started out on a great foot. A lot of people can argue that their opponents are not that tough, but you can't argue the magic of Cam Newton and what he's been doing with that offense, even though he doesn't have a legit wide receiver. You can't deny the greatness that it is. And then once they get Luke Kuechly, can't even say his name without stuttering, Luke Kuechly, if he comes back soon for them, and I think it would probably be after this bye week, oh, they are in the clear. It's going to work out so perfectly for them. And it's really going to be awesome. I think they're going to be fun to watch this season. It will reflect kind of what they did in 2013 when they were winning a lot. I think they can do it again. Alright, now going on to the Jets and that 3-1. It's very surprising to me because like the Jets are one of those teams where you kind of think, alright, yeah, they're not going to do too well. And then all of a sudden they come out 3-1 to start out the season. Their only loss being against, who would they face? Oh, Eagles. They lost to the Eagles, but that's the one thing I think the Jets need to work on. It's just consistency. They need to be able to not make so many mistakes on the field, and if they're able to get their crap together there, they can do really well. And they have a lot of easy opponents going forward. The AFC South is a mess, so facing any of those opponents should be easy. The NFC East, I mean, I could see them dealing some blows to the Redskins. The Giants, maybe. We'll have to see once we get there. And I think the Cowboys, even the Jets could have a good show against. Well, actually, no, the Jets and Cowboys don't face until like in December, so Tony Romo will be back. Yeah, no way the Jets are winning that. Rip. But the Jets are playing all last place teams from last year. I think the Jets are going to be strong going forward. Now going to the Vikings, 2-2. They lost so far to the Broncos and the 49ers. Very slow start for the Vikings, but to win 2 in a row after that, beating the Lions and then beating the Chargers, though it's not too big of a deal to beat the Lions because the Lions are now 0-4. That Vikings, you can't deny the fact that AP being back with that team has really reinvigorated them. They have become a stronger team because of him being there. The defense has gotten better, especially with Norv Turner. I don't want to like drop the Vikings at all just because they lost to the Broncos, because heck, they put up a great fight. They put up a great fight. That's why I predicted them to win, because I thought that they would have that chance, and they did. And unfortunately, that one fumble screwed them over. But I think that the Minnesota Vikings can definitely have a shot still, even though they're 2-2. What can they change? I mean, I guess maybe better quarterback play from Teddy Bridgewater, who has struggled at times, and being able to read those defenses and not be able to get sacked so much. Like, that would be O-line problems, really. But I think the Vikings are going to be okay. And then let's move on to the Dolphins, who, oh god, no one, I don't think, a lot of people are like, oh my god, yeah, the Dolphins, they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, because they had I forget who came out with it, but they were going to say, like, oh, the Seahawks and the Dolphins are going to go to the Super Bowl. It was like this Harvard study on, like, percentage and odds-wise, and it was so weird, but they said the Dolphins and the Seahawks would make it, and the Seahawks have not had a good start, nor have the Dolphins. They are 1-3. They just fired Joe Philbin, which was kind of necessary. I don't know why they didn't do that sooner. Their defense has been awful. Their offense has been off to a slow start. The only good player on the team has been Jarvis Landry. It shocks me, because I really thought the Dolphins would be the second best team in that league, in the division rather, behind the Patriots. And apparently not. Apparently the Jets are right now. That's the shocking part. I don't know. I do kind of feel bad for the Dolphins for various reasons. They have all these great players, but the coaching staff has just not done anything for them. They do need some help in a lot of areas. May need to trade away some players to kind of start rebuilding for next year, because I don't think they're going to do it this year. And, you know, I also feel bad in the sense that they went to London without home field advantage, essentially. Like, yes, there's a bunch of Dolphins fans in London, but there's nothing like still playing in Sun Life. You know, if that's what that's what it's called, Sun Life Stadium. I feel for them on that front. The fact that they had to face a divisional opponent in another country, that's bullshit. That's personally, like, I love the international series, but when you lose that home advantage, it sucks, and it sucks for the fans as well, who want to go see it and can't travel to another country because they can't afford it. They already spent so much money on the season tickets. I mean, it really stinks, but I feel for them. I'm hoping they can rebuild. This is not going to be their year, not in the least bit, unless somehow Dan Campbell is just able to be the best interim coach the league has ever seen and pull off a Super Bowl win. That would be insane. Hey, I'd root for the Dolphins at that point. That'd be awesome. Alright, so that's that. We covered all the bye teams. Let's get to our predictions today. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, the Colts, and against the Texans. These raincoats are facing the Texans. J.J. Watt will just blast right through them and get warm at the same time, not get wet. But I really, this division is ridiculous, and you know, you came into this season and you're like, all right, the Colts are going to dominate. I mean, the Texans, they may have some good quarterback play, and I'm saying all of this was prior to the season. They may actually get some good quarterback play. They don't have the best quarterback situation, but you know, maybe the defense will help them out. And then Marcus Mariota, he's going to be big. He's going to help everything out for the Titans. And the Jaguars have looked great. Blake Bortles looks great, and everyone had a losing record going into Week 4. And the only one to come out with at least a tied record was the Colts, and then the team that didn't get to play was the Titans. I think for this division, it's going to end up coming down to the Colts and the Titans for the lead. And if the Colts win this one, it will show that they still have so much dominance. The Colts, they really have. They definitely have the best team in that division, but their offensive line has a lot of issues still. They're losing Andrew Luck with the injuries. Just he has not been playing to potential. He's 31st in quarterback rating. That's ridiculous for Andrew Luck, the guy that everyone thought was going to be this huge savior for the Colts after losing Peyton Manning. I don't know. It's well, actually, no. They got rid of Peyton Manning and then drafted Andrew Luck because they wanted a young guy. They kind of just gave up on Peyton Manning. Never mind. You can't really feel bad for the Colts in that sense. They put themselves in this situation, but yeah, I don't know. This was easy to predict. I'm gonna say the Colts are gonna win it. I know I was just talking generally about just the division in general, but the Texans, they've struggled on the offensive side of the ball. Their defense has not played to potential. J.J. Watt, he needs to make some big plays, but the Colts are going to get this done. If Andrew Luck doesn't play, I can see the Texans winning it, but I would still pick the Colts. I think the Colts right now are just a much more put-together team, and I'm surprised about that, because again, they've not been playing well the past few weeks, losing to the Bills and the Jets, and coming up close with the Titans and the Jaguars. I don't know, maybe I might switch my prediction to the Texans, but I feel confident to keep the Colts. So there you go. Alright, on to the Sunday matchups, beginning with the Bears at the Chiefs. So the Chiefs get back to Arrowhead Stadium. Both teams off to a slow start. The Chiefs look dominant in their Week 1 matchup against the Texans, but since then, faced the Packers, faced the Bengals, they faced someone else that I can't remember, the Broncos. They face all these undefeated teams, and they've been getting their ass whooped. But they're still the better team compared to the Bears. The Bears, Jay Cutler has been playing surprisingly well, but I still don't think they're a much put together team as compared to the Chiefs. If Alex Smith loses this game, the Chiefs might end up considering starting Chase Daniels. Like I'm that serious. He's 32nd in quarterback rating. How is that, like, compared to like the other bad quarterbacks that are playing right now? How is he lower than Ryan Mallett or Brian Hoyer? He's the 32nd ranked quarterback. That's ridiculous. Actually, I don't actually know if there could be more to that list. So maybe Brian Hoyer and Ryan Mallett are below that. But I think 32 teams. I think someone's gonna be below him, but that's still pretty freaking low. He should not be that low. Alex Smith needs to play better, that's for sure. But I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs are gonna win. Just you can't really have much faith in the Bears. I think they're gonna get getting the top draft pick. Honestly, I think the Lions will rebound a little bit and beat the Bears in the division. But I don't really have enough faith. But if the Bears beat the Chiefs, that's a problem for the Chiefs because they're losing a lot there. The fact that they're going to go 1-4 to start the season, it's not good for them. All right, on to Seahawks at the Bengals. This is my favorite matchup for this week. I need a little star icon for the matchups that I love because this is really going to be interesting to see. And I think it's a lot more obvious who the pick is to win because of the fact of how the Seahawks have been playing. Yes, they've been playing lights out defense. They've been playing pretty well, especially with Cam Chancellor back. But that offensive line is atrocious. It is probably one of the worst in the league. The minute a defensive lineman just pokes that offensive line, they all just go tumbling down, and all the pass rushers could just tackle Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, luckily, is a magical, like, running around quarterback, and he can just zip and zoom and not get tackled or not get sacked, and he somehow avoids it every time. So with good quarterback play and the offensive line at least holding up long enough to not be just completely crumble, I think that Seahawks do have a chance. But the Bengals, they are really good right now, and that's surprising because for the Bengals to go 5-0, it's just like, whoa, this team. I was saying that they were going to have a losing record this year. I did not think that Andy Dalton could do it. I thought this would be Andy Dalton's last year as the Cincinnati Bengals, because I did not think this team was going to work out at all well, and they've been playing amazing. Offensively, they've been doing great. Defensively, they've been doing great. I think the obvious choice is the Bengals here, because the Seahawks have not put it together. If the Seahawks win, though, I wouldn't be too surprised, but the Seahawks offensive line has been so atrocious that I don't know how the Bengals can't win this game. It's unbelievable how quickly a team could go from NFC champion to just mess on offense. At least defense, they're still good, but no interceptions. What's that about? I don't know. All right. Anyways, on to Redskins at the Falcons. So, look at the Redskins. They beat the Eagles last week. That was a prediction that I was not. That was a prediction I was wrong about. One of them. I picked the Eagles because I did not think the Redskins could put it together, but they did again. The Redskins beat the Eagles again, and that happened last year too, but that was when it really mattered for the Eagles. The Redskins beat Eagles in Washington, and that ended up ending the Eagles' playoff chances, and I feel like that kind of happened again with the Redskins beating the Eagles. I feel like that really screwed over the Eagles. Like, I talked about it with someone in the comments below the last episode, but I just feel like if their offense was better in some way, shape, or form, then they have a team that could do well, but they don't have an offense. Sam Bradford has not been playing that well. Or at least he doesn't play at all, essentially, in this first half or the second half. Like, he chooses a half to play and then he plays it. But then during one of those halves, he's just atrocious. The offensive line is a huge problem. The running backs are not producing like they should. They should be starting Darren Sproles or Ryan Matthews, not DeMarco Murray, which is shocking to say, but Murray has just not been fitting this offense at all. And then, like, they can't get their shit together there. And then, if you look at the defense, the Eagles' defense is not that bad, but they were not even able to stop the Redskins. And the Redskins, Kirk Cousins averaging 6 yards a throw. I mean, that it doesn't really sound too great for the Redskins offense. I don't know. I cannot believe the Redskins did so well. But anyways, looking at the Falcons now, I've been talking a lot of analysis. I'm making up for last week. Falcons, they have really outdone themselves this season. Again, another team that I didn't really expect to do that well, but Dan Quinn has changed this team. I can't see a scenario where they're going to really be stopping him yet. We'll see as they get closer to facing a team like the Colts, or, well, not even the Colts suck, never mind. Or, I don't know. Really, who is going to be in their way? The Panthers? I mean, again, yes, Panthers have been playing great. I made the argument for the Panthers, but the Falcons have been facing kind of tougher opponents, in my opinion, and they've been doing really well. So, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Falcons here. No doubt about it. Redskins, though, the Redskins seem to be improving, and I think they're doing a good job. They're not going to stop an undefeated team like the Falcons. I think the real test for the Falcons will come as soon as they face the Panthers, whatever that is. I think next week they're doing Thursday Night Football against the Saints, so I don't know, maybe that'll be the test for them. We'll see how the Saints do this week. Alright, Jaguars against the Buccaneers, the most important matchup of the week, right? The second of 2 Florida matchups this year, which is pretty cool. We get the Jaguars against the Buccaneers, and both teams, you see them when they win, it's like, whoa, like, they are actually playing pretty okay. And then you get them to other games, and it's like, wow, they really suck ass. And you never know what you'll get with either team. You never know if you'll get the good team or the bad team. But, I gotta keep vouching for the Buccaneers, because I always do. I keep on picking them to win these games. I did get them to win one game against the Saints. I predicted them. But it's scary with the turnovers with Jameis Winston, but I think that he can have a good game if he finally works with Vincent Jackson, works with Mike Evans, and really gets things going on that offense. hand it over to Doug Martin, let him run the ball, because he's been doing pretty okay. And then you look over at the Jags, and they improved on defense quite a bit, and Blake Bortles has improved a little bit. Like both teams have improved since last year, obviously. But I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers just because of the Buccaneers' defense. I feel like the defense is still pretty good, and I think they can challenge the Jaguars in a lot of ways. So, and plus the Buccaneers, they need to win at home. Man, oh man, this streak has been going on for so long. But if the Saints can do it, you can do, Buccaneers. I have a lot of faith in you. I'm gonna pick you to win. But the Jaguars. If the Jaguars beat the Buccaneers, I don't know what to tell you. Get your second win, Buccaneers, early on. Get your second win early on so you don't have to get it later in the season. Come on. Alright, anyways. Speaking of Saints, we got the Saints facing the Eagles. Him as in Drew Brees in the crowd. Drew Brees is back, and he's back with some vengeance for a slow start. Finally getting a win against the Cowboys. There's no reason that the Saints team can't win this game. They had a very, very slow start to the season. They did pretty okay against the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are ridden with injuries. I wouldn't say this is a real test, but I think the Eagles right now are a little bit tougher, at least on the defense side of the ball. I think they could definitely challenge them, but I gotta go with the Saints here. The Eagles just have been crumbling. They're not doing so well. And I know I talked about the Eagles so much to the Redskins, so I'm not gonna do too much now. But again, I gotta say, like, I feel like there's so many issues for that team, and I'm hoping that they can rebound, but I don't see it happening. They're having a lot of issues, unfortunately. If the Saints beat them, that's gonna be. It's going to be hell for Chip Kelly. Alright, one of very few divisional matchups here. We got the Ravens at the Browns. Although, I think it was the Browns at the Ravens. Whoops. Hold on a second. We're just going to play flying logos for a second. Alright. If you guys are listening to this as a podcast, you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Alright. Anyways, Browns against the Ravens. So, looking at the Browns, looking at the Ravens, both teams 1-3. Which team can prevail? I've been doing a lot of Josh McCown trashing. Maybe I don't know as much during the predictions, but off the video, especially to my friend GoCubs, I just really don't like Josh McCown and the way he plays, or at least prior to the season. I never really liked the way he plays, but I guess it was really the Bucs' offensive line that made him play so poorly last year. Now with the Browns, he still has those, like, Josh McCown-y, like, moments, especially when he was first starting with against the Jets, and then he did the little helicopter like John Elway. Like, that was like, alright, this guy is not going to do that well. He is yet to win as a starter, but he's actually been doing pretty okay. At least it keeps the Browns, keeps the other team on edge, really. And I think that Josh McCown can have a field day against a struggling secondary, but I'm sorry. I gotta give this one to the Ravens, just because I just feel like the team, even though it's off to a slow start, I can't see the Ravens losing to the Browns. The Ravens are a better team than that. They're good. They're still pretty decent defensively. They were able to stop Steelers quite a few times, and they're growing more as an offense. Joe Flacco is getting a little bit better. He's working with Steve Smith Sr. He's working with other wide receivers. But I mean, I don't know. The injuries might hurt them a lot with losing Terrell Suggs, almost losing Steve Smith Sr., losing another guy that was playing really well during TNF. I forget what his name was, but the Ravens have been doing pretty well. I'm hoping they win. I'm predicting that they will win. If the Browns beat the Ravens got a lot to worry about. On to Rams against the Packers. This is another one that I'm kind of excited about, because now I was wrong, and I'll gladly take that. I think at one point I even said the Cardinals are unstoppable. Who will beat them? And it turns out the Rams are that team. And this Rams defense is so good. Every year it's great, and then they are not good any time else. Like, when they played against the Redskins, the Redskins just made the Rams look like trash, and then the Rams play the Cardinals, and the Rams look like a playoff team. Like, it's remarkable how this constantly like just switches for the Rams. But I have a very hard it's very hard for me to see this team beating the Packers, because the Packers have been doing pretty well. Now, there was some worry in the 49ers game that the Packers didn't really do that well, but they still won 17-3. I mean, the Packers defense did a lot better than the Packers offense last week, but come on. Aaron Rodgers at home with that Packers defense, with Eddie Lacy still healthy for now, still got his wide receivers, Aaron Rodgers. There's no way the Packers are going to win this. Rams they're a great team, and I think they'll play well defensively. May even end Aaron Rodgers' non-interception streak, but it's gonna be the Packers. That's at least how I feel about that. All right, on to Bills at Titans. So much commentary. It's almost a half-hour mark. I apologize, but gotta talk a lot of football. Bills at the Titans, and this is Titans coming off of their bye. The Titans, they've been doing okay with Marcus Mariota. They almost took down the Colts, which was surprising to me. I honestly thought the Titans were going to be able to do it, but I forget. It's been 2 weeks. There's been so much football. I honestly forget some of the plays that's happened to them during that last game against them. But to go 1-2. But to lose against the Colts in the fashion that they did, that they seemed like they had a really close game. It was a devastating loss to them, but it showed that the Titans are there to compete and that they could really go to the end in terms of fighting for this division. The Titans are surprisingly been doing really well under Mariota, and Ken Whisenhunt, you can't deny he's a great coach too. So the Titans, I think, are going to grow from this point. I'm hoping that they get a winning record this season. It might not happen, but the reason that I'm playing this up so much so I could talk about how good the Bills are still going to do. The Bills are going to win. But the reason I say this is because I know the Bills struggled so much against the Giants, and that was shocking to me. And it's because of all these stupid ass penalties. They are just taking every single time they can see yellow fly across the field. It must make them feel good because they're doing it a lot. 17 penalties or something like that for like 100-something yards for that last game, and it's ridiculous. Someone said that, the Giants probably would not have won the game if it wasn't for the flags, and I kind of agree with that. I gotta hand it to the Giants. They did play pretty well, but the Bills, without all those flags, they could have probably come back and won. The Bills they're having issues, but I think they can make it up against the Titans. They can play really lights out football against they really ripped into the Colts. They really ripped into the Dolphins. I think they can rip into the Titans. I think this will be a good week, and maybe next week they'll go bad again, which won't be surprising because their next matchup is against the Bengals. So we'll see. I'm taking the Bills for this one. All right, Patriots at the Cowboys. Patriots once again also coming off the bye, and Cowboys just coming off a pretty devastating loss against the Saints. This is America Bowl, by the way. America's team versus a team that embodies the American spirit. The New England Patriots, they're too good. They're too good, man. They are too good for this league. There needs to be another elite league because the Patriots are better than a lot of teams in the NFL, or so we all think, and so as we all been saying. You can't deny the greatness of Tom Brady and his offense, and how the defense hasn't really been struggling too bad. The Patriots have been doing pretty okay for themselves, and they're currently looking for that 4-0, as a bunch of other teams have already gotten that. They want to be that last team to get the 4-0. And as for the Cowboys, just so many injuries hurting them, and they have Brendan Weeden at center, which he's done a good job, but will he really do enough against the Patriots? I doubt it. They got back Greg Hardy. They got back Rolando McClain. If the Cowboys have any way of winning this game, any way whatsoever, it's got to be good defense. Because they need to be able to stop Tom Brady. And again, that's tough to do. And they gotta be able, not only Brady, they gotta be able to stop Gronk. And not a lot of people have been able to do that. So, Patriots are gonna win. I would be shocked if the Cowboys could do it. But the key to victory for the Cowboys is play really, really good defense. And hopefully, the Patriots have a bad day on defense and Brady Weeden's able to put up some scores. So, we'll see. Cardinals against the Lions, and the Lions being the only team in the NFL right now without a win. God, you gotta feel bad about these Lions, man. These guys went from being in the playoffs and nearly beating the Cowboys if it wasn't for a bad flag, and then now going 0-4. Like, it's such a degrading feeling. And then to top it all off, their fourth loss, what makes them the worst team in the league right now, is the terrible call by the officials that the bat out of the end zone was legal. That was ridiculous. The ref was right there. That's gonna be talked about for a while. Definitely gonna bring up questions about reviewing penalties, especially within like the last 2 minutes, or challenging penalties rather. Or non-penalties rather. Lions, they have the materials, they have the ability to do great things, but they just have not been able to prove it, and it makes you question if Jim Caldwell will still have his job after another loss, which it could happen, it probably will happen. It's a rough one for the Lions. Hopefully they can rebound, but the Cardinals, even though they lost last week against the Rams, the Cardinals have been playing well. They've been playing really well. The Cardinals did play very well against the Rams, even though they still lost. A lot of turnovers for the Cardinals last week, but hopefully they can rebound from that. I think they will. Cardinals are going to win this. The Lions are going to go 0-5, in my opinion. I really do feel bad about the Lions, because it's like this franchise has these really great moments. They finally get to the playoffs, and then they lose that, and then they lose going into this season. I really hope it's not another 0-16 season for them. That would blow. I'm hoping that they get a win soon. I don't know if it'll be this week though. Broncos at the Raiders. So I know it's so easy to pick the Broncos, but I do want to just give a slight argument to the Raiders. I mean, yeah, they lost to the fucking Bears last week, and that's not going to help things for them at all. But you look at what the defense has done for the Raiders, and then that high-powered offense as well. They've been doing relatively well, and they're definitely an average team, but they've been. That's exactly what they haven't been for years. They are now an average team, and average teams have been able to take down major juggernauts, aka the Rams beating the Cardinals last week. So I gotta. I'm not gonna pick the Raiders here, but I just want to put that argument out there that they could stop Peyton Manning, who hasn't really been playing well. Their offense has not been playing well, the Broncos, but the defense has been playing great. And I think the Raiders, with that offensive line, that's what's gonna make them struggle a lot. But I'm just putting the argument out there that the Raiders, if they do win, I'm not gonna be bouncing off the walls like, holy crap, really surprised. Like, I won't, just because of the Broncos offense, the way it's been playing, and how well the Raiders offense has been playing. But that defense, the Broncos defense, forget it. Broncos are going to win. That's how I see it. Just giving my arguments, though. Just seeing both sides of things. 49ers at the Giants, and again, the Giants have a primetime game. And look, I'm a Giants fan, but why so many primetime games? We are not good. Well, I should say that we've been doing pretty okay, but like last year we ended 6-10. 6-10 teams don't get 5 primetime games in the season. They get like 2 at best. So I don't know what the NFL is doing there, but we got a primetime game against the San Francisco 49ers, and the 49ers have been a mess. Colin Kaepernick has been a mess. The defense hasn't been putting up good effort. The offense, everything about the 49ers have been really struggling, and I think that against the Giants, who seem like they're coming back now. They seem like they're doing better. I mean, they beat the Redskins at home, and then they just beat the Bills, who a lot of people are predicting the Bills making the playoffs. And they seem like a playoff team where they're not, 17 flags into a game. But the fact that the Giants really embarrassed the Bills last week rather. Yeah, it feels like last year. I mean, I gotta give it to the Giants for now. Will I be surprised if the 49ers win? No, but they've just been playing so awful. It's an easy pick for me. And on to Monday Night Football, where we got the Steelers at the Chargers. You look at how Mike Vick and the Steelers offense played on last Thursday, and they did not play well. Michael Vick made some throws to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown was not able to catch them. Of course, yes, it could be up to Antonio Brown to do that catching and to do well in that sense, but I don't see it happening. I don't think this offense is going to click as well. They need to let Le'Veon Bell do his best against the Chargers. Do I think so? No, though? I don't know. The Phillip Rivers played awesome last week. That offense played so good, so well. I'm grammatically incorrect right now. I'm getting so excited. The Chargers, they played so well offensively, or they got so better offensively after losing to the Vikings. I think that was week 3. Yeah, that was week 3. The Chargers defense, though they were not really able to stop Josh McCown last week, I think they could stop Michael Vick, because believe it or not, right now I think Michael Vick is a little bit of a worse quarterback than Josh McCown. I know that's really shocking for a lot of people, but Michael Vick has not done good so far. He's done okay. He's done what he's needed to do, but not good enough to win in this game. I'm gonna take the Chargers. Again, it's another one of those that could really go either way, but I don't trust the Steelers offense right now without Big Ben throwing those passes. And if the Steelers rely a lot on Le'Veon Bell and maybe even D'Angelo Williams, if they have a good running game, I think they could beat the Chargers. But I'm taking the Chargers. They've just looked better right now. Alright, well, that's the end of Week 5 predictions. It was a long one, 38 minutes, but I just wanted to give you so much analysis from last week to make up for my 15-minute, sniffle fest. I'm really looking forward to this week, because I feel like there's some good matchups. Again, I was surprised about the lack of divisional matchups this week, but I think they'll be fun to watch still. I think a lot of good matchups. Really looking forward to Seahawks against the Bengals, and the Rams against the Packers, and what else? Patriots at Cowboys will be interesting to see. I would say that those all deserve primetime spots more than the 49ers and Giants. And again, this is coming from a Giants fan. I love the Giants, but I feel like the other matchups that I just named, I feel like are a lot more anticipated for primetime than anything else. So just saying. I mean, flex scheduling does start this week, right? You just switch it, right? No, yeah, they have to do it sooner. All right. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for week 6. Enjoy the game tonight. Bye bye.